In the sense of Draco, he rapped what he said. There's evidence behind it, and they locked him up, and he ended up getting murdered. We want to talk about David. He rapped about the shit he said. They're finding out evidence, and he already got charged. You know what I mean? So in that case, it's kind of like, all right, well, fuck it. Like, he said what he said. They proved it, and then hasta mañana. You know what I mean?
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to fill the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower. To let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower. To let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower. To let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower. To let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. He wet rider, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my head.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Sir Bavelli, back in the place to be, La America Superior. We are not in Palace 81. I've yet to name this beautiful establishment we have here, but I don't know what fort is in Spanish, but that's what the fuck this shit is going to be called for the remainder of my time here. I want to do another 2 episodes. Who knows if that's going to happen? I want to do another episode tomorrow morning, but it is almost midnight and everyone is tired and shit, except me, because I'm going to be staying up throughout the fucking morning and shit like that, as it were, because I need to keep my sleep schedule. I pretty much slept a great deal of the time during the day. I probably only got maybe not even 6 hours of sleep last night, and then I took some naps during the day because my back was killing me, dog, at work. What is it? Thursday? I don't even think it was that. I just think I think I slept wrong, and then with me, my body being super tired, my lower back was killing me, and I didn't even know it until yesterday. I'm gonna have to edit that shit. Why did I even press the space bar? Anyway, I'm gonna have to edit that shit. We're at the 2-minute mark. Great, we're already fucking up over here. What is it? So, as y'all know, I've been covering the fact that my grandmother passed away. We had her services. I don't even remember, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago or some shit like that, in America, and then we had her services last night and her burial today. I'm in Mexico. We're in an undisclosed location. And so yesterday, I felt good. My back didn't hurt. I was cool with it or whatever. My mom was hella being annoying. When you try to tell somebody in not so many ways, bro, this is the line and you're crossing it right now. Holmes just kept crossing it and crossing it, and I was just dude, fucking, if I could just snap my fingers and be there, I would have been there, or took my own car or whatever the fuck. Because honestly, going to Vegas and helping my cousin move back to LA, it was it brought a sense of travel that I never really kind of got bit by. I always wanted to go to big shits like Japan, Colombia, things of that nature. But nothing really made me want to travel, even locally or in the States, you know what I mean? So now doing this, I mean, I love going outdoors and camping shit like that. I'm not big on beaches. I'm not big on traveling and doing little bullshit. I kind of want to travel with my dog. I want to go camping, and I kind of want to go places that are popping to me, like New York or Seattle, just to name a few, you know what I mean? So yesterday, we came over, and it was cool, but then we stopped somewhere. I can't remember where, but as soon as I got up, dog, I wanted to fall the fuck over. My back was locked up, and I was oh shit, I was immediately in pain. So I was great, and then I didn't get good sleep I guess not last night, but the night before. So I'm like, I'm trying to sleep. My back's hurting. And then we have the fucking services, which we were like the last ones there. Like everyone was there already. In Mexico, it's a little different than America. In America, you gotta wait. When someone passes away, you gotta wait. You gotta do all this fucking waiting and bullshit. That makes zero fucking sense. You know what I mean? In Mexico, once you die, they're burying you the next. They have the services the next day. You get buried the day after that type shit. So I didn't really like the whole day. It just was really off for me. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, we got there kind of semi on time, or what? Like I guess like my mom wanted to do, and it was cool. I think it was just. Like a lot of people, what was weird was there was like maybe like 2 other services or some shit like that. And I didn't really understand that. Cause like when obviously like I'm a real private person, I do not like want to be around people, especially with something like as serious as grieving. I don't want to be around nobody, even if they're fucking family. Like I don't want to be around nobody. I just want to like process it on my own. And just do my own shit. I don't know if that comes from like me being alone a lot, like in my childhood and just processing shit like that, or kind of feeling like I didn't really have anybody emotionally to depend on. Whichever it is, kind of don't really matter. But being over there, it just like, I don't know if there's any other like nice way to say this shit, but like I just didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? And not even because like of who was there and nothing like that, but I just don't understand that process of like it's an all night fucking viewing. You gotta stay up with the body, and we didn't do that. But nevertheless, I didn't even want to be there for more than like an hour. Like great, like my grandma's there. I said goodbye. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? I just don't understand that part of it. I get that it's part of our culture, I've been enough funerals in my life to know that I don't want to fucking be at a funeral. I don't want to have to fucking subjugate myself to any of this other bullshit, right? Whatever. So that was last night. And then today we had the burial. Woke up. Honestly, I really thought today was going to be some bullshit. I really thought it was going to be like, all right, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have to like fucking mentally and spiritually and all that shit, like endure a day of like emotionally exhausting activities. It was far from it. And you know what? Being here, this time it was my parents. It was my sister. Just off of the jump, I knew this was going to be like something more positive. I don't know. That shit was in the air, right? And I thought today was great. It's no secret that me and my fucking sister aren't really like close. But like, I don't really give a fuck about that shit. The fact that we like spent time with like our family and shit was like really nice. That's all that mattered to me. And today it really like showed me like, when it's like really good with your family, like it's really like it's cool for me, at least. A lot of my people might have their different opinions on it, whatever. I could care less, because I'm just like at a point in my life where like shit people got going on in their lives don't really affect me, for better or for worse. You know what I mean? I'm like super independent, doing my own thing, and everyone else is living their lives. That's cool. So it was a fun day. I really enjoyed the fact that it was the 4 of us again, which fuck, the last time the 4 of us were together was like, when was it, like after Thanksgiving or some shit like that, And before that it was probably years or some shit like that, Oh no, for my pops' fucking birthday dinner, we were all together. But you know what I mean, right? Like the family dynamics is really interesting. Some families are completely like dysfunctional. Some of them are like torn apart. Some people don't even have fucking families. So the fact that like we can all be together on like the same page, even if it's just for a little bit, like that's cool with me. I just really cherish that. And yeah, just being like in my grandma's house again, the old house. It's not really like how it was. Obviously, like things change, but whatever, it's fine. You know, I just kind of cherish the fact that like I was with my family and stuff, and that's kind of what matters. You know, there is like that looming shit in the air, like, oh fuck, like I gotta be around this person, that type of shit. But nevertheless, it's like it was really cool for what like the under the circumstances, my grandma passing away. You know, we had a taquero. We had the church, the services at the church, which was really cool. I don't really understand Spanish like that, so the whole time I'm just like, I don't care. Like, not that I don't care, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't understand what this fool's fucking saying. So this fool could have been up there talking Chinese, and it would have been the same fucking feeling, you know? Like, I'm just there sitting like, all right, the fucking time is just going. And so we buried my grandma. My back was fucking hurting, bro. And it was hot. I just got in the car, slept, go to my grandma's house, slept, woke up. They had the taquero. They had the banda there. The banda was cool. Not one of the best bandas, but I guess, you know, for whatever, a fake ass, you know, Tigres del Norte or whatever the fuck band, I guess it was cool, right? And it was fly. I kind of wanted to get more in depth about like my day and shit, but I'm not. I'm just gonna give you like the basic synopsis. I had a great time with my family, and that's all that fucking matters, you know. So I have like a bunch of topics that I want to go over. Let's start with this shit, which I don't know how the fuck this shit took forever. But you know that dude David that killed his girlfriend, allegedly, or I don't know if it's alleged now, but they're gonna charge his ass soon. But he was finally arrested. David, if you don't know, this fool was like a singer, a rapper. I don't know what these kids call themselves now. They're just all the genres blended together. But this fool, his girlfriend, minor, was found in like the trunk of his Tesla, like dead, right? He was finally arrested and charged with first-degree murder. I don't know the whole details of the whole shit, but honestly, bro, like, how the fuck this some shit like this happen, bro? Like, we always go to the people, right? But this kid is like, I don't know if he's 20 or some shit like that. But like, what the fuck are we doing as a society? And remember, guys, we always going back to society, bruh, because like the world's changing and all that shit. But how do we get to a point where we're cool with going on tour after, like, we're cool with these like artists going on tour after like this fool makes a song about like his girlfriend. I don't know if he's his girlfriend or not. There's a lot of wild shit going on about like coming out about this kid. But whatever it is, like this fool's like, he's gonna do life or whatever the fuck. Whatever it is, I don't know that for sure. But I just think it's crazy, bro. Like, there's a lot of weird, dark energy that's out there, bro. You know? Another one of the things is the Afrika Bambaataa shit. This fool died, and it's been alleged, or I don't know if it's confirmation, but there's a lot of shit going around that this fool's a pedophile and touching kids and all that shit. And you know what? I'm like kind of 50-50 with it, because I believe people can change, but we got to see them changes. But at the same time, I agree with Immortal Technique, what he believes about like you supporting victims, and I support victims all the way. You know what I mean? Whoever it is, the fact that you want to touch people and like sexual assault and all that shit ain't cool, bruh. Like, I feel like fools who do that should get poked. That's how I really feel on the inside. But then on the flip side, it's kind of like, I believe people could change, but if they're not actively trying to change, fuck them, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't keep up with Afrika Bambaataa or any of his old shit. All I can say is this fool was like a pillar in hip hop, and it's crazy that the people that we look up to and all that shit, like, they just come out and be like complete like assholes, whether that be Segun like Cesar Chavez or Afrika Bambaataa, whoever, right? Michael Jackson. you know, there's a lot of things that come out about people, and it's like the duality of being a fucking human being. And I was talking about that earlier, of like people like put on this like whole perception of themselves, and that's not maybe like who they are like 100%. You know, it's just an interesting thing because we're all fucking just people, and you never know what people got going on in their closet type shit. You know what I mean? Like, you might think this person is one way. You might wholeheartedly believe that this person is a good person, and you believe everything that they say and all that, but you didn't got no idea that this fool is a complete fucking asshole. But whether you believe that or not is on you. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it might be like all some hearsay shit, but when it comes to like specifically Afrika Bambaataa, rest in peace. Definitely a pillar in hip hop, but all the shit that came out about him, about like SA and all that shit, I don't fuck with at all. I will always come up here and publicly say that shit ain't cool. Fuck him, bruh. If that's like, if there's evidence and all that shit. This dude David, with his girlfriend and all, you know, that's so weird. Like, I don't know how to feel about that, because he's like an adult, but he's like barely an adult, right? And she's like, what, like 16 or some shit like that, or was 16, rest in peace. It's just wild. I don't know how to feel about that, because, you know, when you're in like high school or whatever, like even in middle school, you like hear of people that have like older girlfriends or like boyfriends or whatever the fuck, and it's weird then, but like it's not as weird as like, oh, okay, like, see, it makes sense if it's like, okay, if I was in high school with a girl, we were both fucking seniors, I turned 18 first, then maybe 6 months later she turned 18, and that shit kind of gets like, legally, it gets a little kooky if you get it caught up in some shit. But when you're like a fucking senior dating like a 8th grader, and that shit just happens to carry over when you're 20 and they're like 16 or whatever, that's fucking weird, bro. I don't know. But it's just one of those things, like the legalities and the certain things. It's just weird, right? But the bottom line is, this fool, it's like, it ain't 100% confirmed, forensics and all that shit, but right now, but this fool fucking killed his chick, left her in the back of a fucking Tesla, abandoned somewhere in the hills or whatever the fuck, and then this fool goes on tour, and then he's rapping about it. So where the fuck are we with rappers where they commit these crimes, doing the fucking crimes, and then he just out here making money, whoever the fuck it is, right? I mean, there's like a couple of rappers out there, Según Jeezy, Gucci Mane, whoever it is. Maybe not to that level, King Von or like Young Thug and all that shit. Like, and this is where we go into the conversation of like living your fucking raps, right? This is entertainment. Treat it as entertainment, because when we get into like fools just straight snitching on themselves, like rest in peace, like Draco the Ruler, he had a lot of songs about chipping fools or getting fools chipped, repping his hood, which is great. Gangster lifestyle shit and like just all around hood shit sells, right? But when you are actively confessing to crimes in your music and then you get caught up for it, it's like, dog, that was all you, bro. Because you didn't have, no one ever tells you as a rapper, you have to fucking like say 100% of the truth. You know what I mean? I treat music as an outlet, and like I'm very vague with it, because even if I did some of the shit I said, and I have done shit that I've said in my raps, I do. I'm not gonna fucking tell you, yeah, you know, it was 7 o'clock. I had the Glock and the shit don't stop and I pop. Like, you know, it's just, that's fucking dumb, bro. Because you're setting yourself up to get incarcerated, all because you wanted to look cool for other people. And I didn't really give a fuck. Anybody who don't like me, fuck them, bro. Like, I'm like very proud to live in like my truth and be out here like repping for who I am, and I try to stay humble and I try to like humble myself. That's why I have a fucking purple phone case. You know why? Because I don't give a fuck. You know, why have a black one or something more masculine? Like, I don't care if it looks feminine to other fucking people. Like, people are worried about the wrong shit, I feel like sometimes, you know, and that's where I kind of like, I already know I got a super big ego, so that's where I kind of try to level it off. Like, oh, okay, like I try to as serious as I try to take life, I try not to take life too seriously, because there's people that take themselves too fucking seriously, and they're like 100% this like whole facade that they walk around. You know what I mean? And you know that's bullshit. But then on the other hand, it's like when you keep it too real, that's when it gets you kind of fucked up in some sense. You know what I mean? And just the fact that, like, if we're gonna be talking about people that fucking get themselves into trouble or like do certain shit, yeah, we could kind of like crucify them in a sense of just like, fuck them, they did this, get the fuck out of here. But at the same time, we got to look at that shit and be like, was this really like true? You know what I mean? In the sense of Draco, he rapped what he said, there's evidence behind it, and they locked him up, and he ended up getting murdered. And we want to talk about David. He rapped about the shit he said. They're finding out evidence, and he already got charged. You know what I mean? So in that case, it's kind of like, all right, well, fuck it. Like, he said what he said, they proved it, and then hasta mañana. You know what I mean? So I thought it was shocking to me, because there's like other, like, you know, I keep up with the hip hop shit. This shit was going on for a while. I felt like it took forever for them to figure out that he did it or whatever, or like whatever they're charging him for, like first degree murder. You know, it's super fucking sad, bro. Like, because the first song I ever rapped about was a love song. I really liked this girl. She only saw me as a friend. You know, March 1st, 2015, I recorded the song. And, you know, I've been rapping for 11 years, producing for 12 years at the end of this year. And I don't know where that comes from, bro. Like, I think it's all like about like what you try to use your music for. Because I've always tried to use my music as like an outlet. You know, I never wanted no fucking money. I didn't care about the fame. I didn't care about the bullshit or the girls or the guns or none of that shit, right? I always rap because, like, I say this before and I'll say it again. On fucking Peace, I said, without music, I would go insane. And I wholeheartedly believe that shit, because I feel like if I wasn't... So, like, I started writing graffiti. That was, like, an outlet, but I wasn't really, like, that great at it. So once I started making music, that's what kind of, like, brought the creative outlet out of me. And, you know, whatever. That's just how I deal with shit. So the fact that I look at other rappers and like how they make music, I kind of look down on it in a sense. But at the same time, like, I understand it. Like, just because like I'm like real therapeutic in the way that I express myself in like my music, I shouldn't hold that against like anybody else. Like, if this fool just wants to rap about bullshit, like, that's on him. Like, let this fool like let him do what he wants to do with his music. I'll do what I want to do with my music. And like, I shouldn't really judge nobody for that, but like, it doesn't really matter. Like, that's just my opinion, you know. Like, I'm not doing this to gain like money or like fame or notoriety. I just do it because I have to do it, and if I don't do it, I'll end up fucking poking somebody. But that's because I've endured a lot in my life, and that's me. That's the way how I cope with my music. I fucking just spit my shit from the heart, and it helps me deal with like what I got going on in my life, you know. What else do we got? Stove God Cooks is in like a contractual limbo with Baby Ground Records. He can't release music. He was supposed to have a new album that was supposed to drop, and you know, we've had a theme of like creative control, right? And I'm so glad. Like, back around maybe 2018, somebody approached me for a publishing deal. And I'm so glad I didn't sign anything. There wasn't like a contract written up or anything. We were just talking about me signing a publishing deal. I was going to be like on a radio, I was going to be on a label with like other artists. And it was all bullshit, right? But at the time, it seemed like very advantageous. I was very excited. This is something like, at this point, I'd only been rapping like 3 years. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is what's going to get me to the next level. And at that time, I was super hungry because I was like, you know what, man? I feel like stagnant. Like I don't feel like shit is moving in my career. I gotta go. I gotta get this shit going on, you know? And to all like young artists out there, like everyone moves like at a different pace, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you can't look at what this fool's doing and be like, okay, like there's something on Instagram that it was like, okay, like year 1, I was fucking a nobody. Year 2, I dropped my first album. Year 3, I'm selling out, you know, fucking the Toyota Arena or some shit like that. You know, year 4, I'm like going on a tour with Drake. Dog, them 4 years for one artist can be 20 for the next. And that's what people don't understand when they get into this music shit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing this for? Because if it's just for all the other superficial bullshit, your career's gonna spiral out of control. You're gonna end up being like fucking spinning out on drugs or wasting all your money, or like, because as quick as that shit comes, it goes just as fast if you're not fucking if you don't got your head on right and you don't get your business straight together. You know what I mean? Just from the fact where you make your first music to your first album, that didn't happen in 1 year for most people. Like, I think from when I first started making music to when my first mixtape dropped, because this is when I came up in the mixtape era, that's probably like, how many months was that? Like 7, almost 8 months, you know? But that mixtape didn't do shit. It wasn't like, dog, when I first made my mixtape, I thought bitches was gonna come. I thought fucking, you know, we was gonna pop champagne. I thought I was gonna get $1 million in Bentleys and shit like that. I had a mean reality check, especially when I dropped my first song. But when it came to like my first mixtape and like the trajectory of my career in the beginning, I didn't have the foresight of the wisdom to be like, okay, like, this shit takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of disappointment, a lot of nights fucking crying in bed and just like, is this shit even worth it and shit like that. Not many nights, but there were nights like that where it's just like, what the fuck am I even like doing this for if people don't even listen? And it's just to the point now where it's like, that don't even matter. Like, I don't even care, you know? That's not something I'm actively thinking about. But you know, going back to the publishing deal, it was like, you know, this whole thing can spin you into some different shit, especially when you sign your name on the dotted line. You're young, you want to get shit going. People front you 20 grand. Now you got some money, you can finally get some movement. You're signing to a label, Jedi Mind Tricks, the whole shit. And now you're thinking, okay, now my career could be going to the next level because I signed a contract. Well, this dude, Stove God Cooks, I don't know the whole thing with his contract, but this fool signed one of probably the worst contract since like the Berry Gordy days of Motown, because he can't drop shit. It's up to the point where he don't even want to release music because then his label will get like a big cut or something of the money. Like, who wants to be in some shit like that, dog? You know? And I feel him. I totally understand it, but like, I think he wanted, or I don't know, Segun, but for Westside Gunn to buy him out of his contract is going to take like a lot of money. Obviously, way more than he's worth, right? Because if he was worth the money, he would have fucking got bought out already and dropped his album. But that didn't happen. I think he released 7 copies of his album. It's called like It's Almost Dry or some shit like that. 7 copies. I don't know if he sold all 7 copies, but he sold them for $1 million each. I think every single copy of the album has different music. There's only been leaks, and the leaks weren't even on the album. So I really appreciate the fact that, that he can eat off of his music and do like things his way. The problem with that is people don't have $1 million to just buy a fucking album. You know, I don't even know if he's sold 1 copy. I don't even know about any of the shit, right? But I still think to this day it's like Wu-Tang's Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. If he did sell one of those albums, it's that album, Stove God Cooks. And then I want to say Makami has the fucking the $10,000 the Gospel According to album. And then like Mock has like all them shits. And then Nipsey has his, it's either $100 or $1,000. I think it's $100 of that one album. It's either Crenshaw or Victory Lap. I want to say it's Crenshaw, the Crenshaw album or mixtape or whatever it is. Very commendable. I sell my albums for $45 on CD, and I've literally only sold like 2 copies. So that just goes to show you how successful of a fucking physical album selling businessman I am. It's hard to compete. You got like all this streaming bullshit going on, which doesn't pay artists at all. I've been trying to like find like different ways, and I'm not gonna lie, like with the highlight I have and shit, it kind of like swerves me from kind of being more on the business side and figuring out things. Fucking my arm is all fucking fuck. It's kind of hard to you know, I make more money in one check than I have in all the clothes and music I've sold. Keep it a stack with y'all. I probably made like $300 off of my music, and then off of my clothes, I think I've only made like a stack. You know, I make way more than that. You know, I was making that in like a month working at FedEx, you know. So the good news though is I do have shit rolling out for Imperial. I still got logos. I still got shit going on musically. It's just when it comes to the business, I just kind of haven't really gotten that all figured out. And like to all the young artists and shit, like that's kind of my point. I'm 11 years rapping, almost 12 years of producing, and I'm not at all where I want to be in my career. But guess what? I'm happy. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm throwing a show in May. You know, I submitted like one like La Calavera off of Loteria that's gonna be on the Bootleg Kev YouTube live stream with like Nems. That's going to be on tomorrow. By the time you see this, it's already happened. So if you haven't already, go check out the Bootleg Kev podcast. April 26th is the live stream. So go check out that. Real quick, though, I want to stop everything to do a drip check. Once again, these are the infrared 6s. I want to shout out 6s real quick, especially these. This is the first day I've actually like worn them all day, and like yesterday too in the night. But these shits weren't squeezing my toes. Very roomy. They're pretty flat, but like whatever, right? They do the job that needs to be done, right? And I thought my feet were gonna be killing me, but these are like fucking fire. So I'm probably gonna when I go home, I'm probably gonna have to clean them. But I forgot what jeans these are. These are the La Michoacana flip tank top. My mom gave me this button up. I want to take it off because it's hot. I got my Suyosa watch. I got the fucking silver chain that I got in Mexico a couple years ago. Yeah, man. Just doing it. Just doing it big out here in the great MX. And yesterday's mathematics, because it's not today. I started the podcast yesterday and it ended today. But yesterday's mathematics was wisdom and power refinement all being born to God. So when we use our wisdom within our words and our actions to bring about power, it's coming directly from God. You know, God grants us all the wisdom that we need, and that gives us the power to do whatever it is in life. It's my God-given wisdom that I may know how to get to find my way in life through obstacles, through fucking struggles, through pain. You know what I mean? God grants you the wisdom, and that's empowering. Peace. Yeah. So yeah, this went in a complete different direction I wanted to go to, but I'm sprinkling in some of the shit I wanted to say. Where we at right now? Where we at? We could do maybe like one or Oh, Ice Spice got slapped up at McDonald's. She was ready to rock with him. That shit was hard. You know what I mean? Why is Ice Spice alone with her homegirl at like McDonald's and like LA of all places? You know what I mean? A fan supposedly came up to her, but she was like super hella disrespectful. And that's kind of like the shit I don't want. I don't want to be famous and like can't even eat somewhere. Like I said on the last podcast, like with my fucking cousin at Burger King or whatever the fuck. And somebody comes up to me and starts talking shit. Like, fuck you, get the fuck out of my face and let me eat. You know what I mean? But the level of success I want is going to take that kind of like notoriety in my life and privacy away from me. Whatever, right? Anyway, with the whole Ice Spice shit, she was ready to fucking scrap up with the chick or whatever. I don't know what happened with that. But you know what? I give so much like kudos and brownie points to Ice Spice. She's a very beautiful girl. I really feel like the love of my life is in the Bronx somewhere. It might be Ice Spice. It might be not. But I do know I like me a iced caramel macchiato spiced. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Graffiti writer Woody got arrested. He was arrested with some minor, dude. Like, what the fuck is this shit? This chick better have been his niece or something, because this fool's old. Like, he's an older Mexican dude. I think he's like 50 or some shit like that. And he was arrested with like a 16-year-old. Hella weird. Anyway, Woody, man, fucking legendary, bro. I see his like tags like all the time, like in LA. And I think he switched crews. He was riding F4C, and I just seen him hit up not too long ago either, like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, NTS, legendary crew from LA. Or I don't know if they're from LA, but they're just a legendary crew. And yeah, so he got caught up, he got arrested. Fucking legend, bro. I don't remember the last time like a contemporary big graffiti writer got arrested. It was like a big fucking thing. I can't remember the last graph writer that the situation was like, you know what I mean? But that's something, you know, like I got a lot of homies who write and shit, and I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of did get bit a little bit by the bug of like trying to get back in the game, but I'm retired, dog. I put my jersey up a long time ago. I make too much good money to be out there fucking, you know, like just in the streets painting or doing any illegal activities that'll jeopardize my freedom, you know what I mean? Because that'll fuck everything up in my life. Like, you know, literally. Just to update y'all, I took the test, you know, for my promotion, and I failed. Not only did I fail, but like everybody I work with failed. And I was kind of bummed out about that. You know what I mean? I was really banking on like getting into the program and being like, you know, one of the ones to go on and promote. But it's just like, you know, it was a hard fucking test. And I did feel confident about it. I do feel like I only failed by like 1 or 2 questions, but that's like life. You know what I mean? I've, you know, it took me 10 years to get into like the job I'm at now. You know, and who's to say it won't take another 10? I hope it doesn't. I hope the next time I really feel like the next time I take the test, I'm going to get it. But nevertheless, bro, like, it's just, it is what it is. I failed the test, but I didn't fail in spirit. I didn't fail in, like, life in general. It's just one of those things where it's like, shit like that happens. And who the fuck is calling me right now? Hold on. Who is this? Let me see. Hello? Well, I thought that was going to be a fucking spam call, but I completely forgot what I was talking about. Whatever, it don't matter. The message of the day, man, is you gotta cherish the moment. You know, you can't live in the future with anxiety. You can't live in the past with the fuck shit. You got to live in the present. You got to appreciate the moments, because the little moments count. I think that was like the last message, but I'm going to say it again because, you know what? I was really like anticipating a fucked up day, and that day didn't even happen. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for, you know, my family. I'm grateful for all the things that's going on in my life. Regardless, this went back to the promotion. Regardless if I didn't get my promotion, regardless if, if it's one step backwards, we're going to take 3 steps forward. This is the God's Hour.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil lay inside your box now while the angels fly over my headstone.